Hey everyone, it's Katie V, the Mary SLPD. Today, I want to talk about my professional experience with health insurance companies. So, as a courtesy to my clients, I accept and bill health insurance, both public programs like Medicare and Medicaid, and private insurance. Most of the time, the enrollment process to become in network is relatively simple. It's a form you fill out, you send that form in with your W-9, and you're ready to go. My professional experience with health insurance has largely been positive, with one exception. CHAMP VA is a whole other story, and I am so incredibly frustrated with them. For a little background, I'm a one-person operation. I'm the business owner, I'm the clinician, I'm the receptionist, I'm the biller, I'm the janitor. I do everything. Keep that in mind because it is important to what I'm going to be telling you. So in the summer of 2024, I started seeing the child of a military veteran who has CHAMP VA as the primary insurance. It took me a bit to figure out how to bill, how to get in touch with people, all of that. My first issue with CHAMP VA is the fact that I was given the instructions for enrollment in an incredibly piecemeal manner. Initially, I was told that all I had to do was fill out the direct deposit form on the va.gov website. Okay, no problem. Shouldn't take long at all. I had to call again when I couldn't access anything on the va.gov website. When I finally get in touch with someone, I was told that before I could access anything on the va.gov website, I first had to get signed up with ID.me. Okay, I got that done, then started hunting on the va.gov website for the direct deposit form. It took me weeks in my spare time to even find the form. Meanwhile, I'm continuing to provide services to the veteran's child because that's my goal with this. And I don't have spare time in my day because I'm seeing clients. So after a lot of hunting around on the website, finally I locate the form, fill it out, and get it sent in, thinking that I should start getting paid, right? No, wrong. Denial after denial after denial. All for the following reasons that were listed on the remittance advice form. Number 1, reminder, mail claims to CHAMP VA, P.O. Box 469064, Denver, Colorado 80246-9064. Number 2, when resubmitting claims, you must attach the CHAMP VA EOB for proper processing. 3, you must exhaust all appeals levels with your primary insurance before we may consider your claim for reimbursement. And 4, claim/service lacks information or has submission/billing errors. So I call because A, I've been filing the claims electronically. B, why do I have to send the EOBs when the claims are assigned a claim number and have all of the relevant client information? C, CHAMP VA is the primary insurance for this client. And D, what information is missing? If you have not experienced the CHAMP VA phone system, you are really missing out on an adventure. You dial the number, make your menu selection, and you wait, and wait, and wait. Of all the times that I have called CHAMP VA over the last year, I think I've actually gotten to speak to a person on my initial phone call one time. All the other times, the computer records the phone number you're calling from, allows you to state your name, then says that a customer service representative will call you back when they're available. Then it hangs up on you. You know when they call me back? When I'm working with a client and not able to answer the phone. Remember, I'm a one-person operation. This results in an incredibly vicious cycle of phone tag. So in June of 2025, I finally managed to get in touch with a customer service representative who attempted to answer the question of claim service lacks information or has submission billing errors. I was told that the claims needed to be filed electronically, which they were, and a visit note attached to the claim for medical records. Now, the EMR software that I use does not allow me to attach the visit note to the claim when submitting electronically. The only thing you can submit is the claim form itself. I'm not entirely sure you can even submit a note with a claim form, just because the claims go through a clearinghouse and it's all processed electronically and automatically. So anyway, after going around about that with the lady I was speaking with, she gives me the Denver address to send the resubmitted claims to with the visit note, as the visit note was supposedly the missing information that they needed. So that day, I submitted a year of claims, EOBs, and visit notes via the United States Postal Service to the tune of $20 to that Denver address. At the end of this August 2025, I finally get to talk to a real person again after multiple calls that I was not able to answer regarding those claims. When I finally get to talk to a person, I got some very interesting information. So that Denver address that's listed on the remittance advice forms that I mentioned a moment ago, yeah, I was told that that has not been an accurate address to send anything to since December of 2024. It was December 2025, and Champ VA was still listing an incorrect address on their remittance forms and giving out the incorrect address to people who are calling. So from December 2024 to August 2025, I was sending the claims to the wrong address. I'm still getting the claims rejections, and on those forms, the incorrect address is still being listed. It's still listed as a Denver address. The woman I spoke with gave me two different addresses. One to send all of the resubmissions that I've already spent a small fortune to mail to the wrong address to, and another address to send the initial claims to. The next issue that I wanted to address was the fact that it kept telling me you must exhaust all appeals levels with your primary health insurance before we can consider your claim for reimbursement. I told the lady that I was speaking with that Champ VA was the primary insurance for this particular client. She confirmed that it was the primary insurance, then said she didn't know why the message was on all the remittance forms. So I guess I just don't get to know why they're continuing to list that. Finally, she stated that the missing information were the medical records. Okay, I said that I had been sending the visit notes with the claims, and she said that the visit notes were sufficient to meet that medical record piece. At that point in time, I was informed that it would take me a while to get the claims processed because Champ VA was opening mail from the end of April. Excuse me, the end of April? This is the end of August. Champ VA, a government agency, is 4 months behind opening their mail. That is absolutely ridiculous. As I'm picking my jaw up off the floor from that little piece of information, the woman I was speaking with told me that Champ VA has up to a year to decide to pay claims after they finally get them opened. What? If I were to take a year to decide to pay my bills, I would get evicted. I'd have my lights and my heat shut off. Like, I would be in a lot of trouble. So why is it acceptable for Champ VA, an insurance company for our veterans, to take up to a year to decide that they're going to pay for healthcare services? That is absolutely insane. Now, for those of you who say to just stop seeing the client, yeah, I could do that. However, the reason I opened a private practice is to continue services in these type of situations. Clearly, healthcare in the United States is a messy, broken system. And I wanted to be able to continue providing services even when a health insurance company is being ridiculous and trying to find any excuse to not pay for services. The child that I am working with in this case has made tremendous gains in communication in the last year. And I don't want to see that progress stop just because the insurance company is trying to wiggle out of reimbursing me for services that I've provided. And I'm pretty sure that's just the reason. I do know that I'm eventually going to get paid for the services that I've provided. I just don't know when. And I have bills in the meantime. These types of issues with reimbursement seem to be common throughout different health insurance organizations. But Champ VA insures our veterans. Veterans should be held in the highest esteem. They're incredibly important to the fabric of our country. Our country. I have an active duty member in my family. And he's a good man. He's done a lot of good for this country. And if he had a family member of his immediate family who needed medical services and they were denied those services because the insurance company didn't want to pay for them, I would be livid. Absolutely livid. I would go through the roof. Active duty and veterans have put their lives on the line for our country. And there is no reason at all that veterans and or their families should have to go without needed medically necessary services. And as an organization who provides services, we should get reimbursed for those services in a timely manner. Taking 4 months to open a claim and then just taking like another year to decide if it was medically necessary or not, that is 100% unacceptable. It's time to hold Champ VA accountable for their incredibly poor handling of reimbursement for services to our country's veterans. I am absolutely certain that I am not the only person, the only organization that has to fight with Champ VA to get reimbursed for services that have been provided. I am very confident that I am not the only one. So, to Champ VA, you need to do better, Champ VA. You need to do so much better.